Here goes my battery pack. Outstanding. This is getting better by the moment. So, cognitive dissonance, working on the ability to change the way, to have a fight, to have an aggravation, to have an argument, and to say, I'm done. I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. How many of you have come to those moments in your life where you've said, I've had enough, and it didn't kick in, it didn't stick, it didn't stay? The challenge is that we weren't dissident enough, right? What do we talk about when you watched spy movies? They talk about dissidents, people who are against the status quo. So my question to you is, are you against the status quo? I'm just looking at my screen behind me. Everything. This is a fascinating Monday. So the question is can you get mad enough? You sit mad, you go to bed mad, you go to sleep mad, you wake up mad. You may not call it mad. It's frustrated, aggravated agitation. Do you have a consistent discomfort in your body? Do you carry your stress in your shoulders? Do you have these places where you've got some challenges with your digestive system? Do you realize if you have challenges with your digestive system, I am not a doctor, so I make no medical claims. If you have a challenge with your digestive system, there's probably a lot of stress going on in your life, some thoughts that you're having that you wish you didn't have. All of this to say that you have a choice to make today. You have a choice to make right now in this moment. And this choice that you have to say is you have to begin to say yes to something. You have to begin to say yes to something that will give you more of what you want and less of what you don't. And in that understanding that when you begin to say yes, you are going to piss off some things. You are going to piss off some people. And the things you're going to tick off are your old story, is this old identity, this possibility that you're enough already. You're not enough already. You want more. Say, I want more. Say it. Where do you feel that in your body? I want more. Where do you feel that in your body? Where does that show up? The challenge is when we say, I want more, we're usually around other people who want more as well. But when you're by yourself, when you're in isolation, which is what happens a lot of times when winter comes, we don't go outside as much. When it rains, we don't go outside as much. When the environment can affect us, when the environment can make us uncomfortable, we won't go out into it. Now, some of us love rain. I love a good rain. I understand that. But what about a torrential downpour? Why won't you go out into a torrential downpour? Why won't you go out and sit in a torrential downpour? Why won't you go out and just let the rain pour down on you? Why not go do rain? See, the challenge is we want success, but we won't do pain. We want the rewards, but we won't do the effort. We say we will. The challenge is that we've done it 15 times already, and I got to do it again. You mean I got to talk to more people? You mean I got to write down my goals again? You mean I got to put my dream board in place again? How many of you have done a dream board? How many of you, it's been more than 3 months, you've done a dream board? Drop a 3 in the chat. How many of you have never done a dream board? Drop NDB. Right? If you've dropped NDB. So my question to you is that if you haven't done it in 3 months or you've never done a dream board and you hear about people talking about it, I've done success. I'm absolutely wired up to have this conversation. Not really. If your latest conversation is 3 months old or 6 months old or a year old, your dreams, when's the last time you breathed life into your dreams? Well, Sean, you don't understand. I'm so busy right now. I got things I got to do. I got to get going. I got to make an extra $1,000 this month. I got to make an extra $5,000 this month. I'm behind in $25,000. I got $70,000 in credit card debt. I got $200,000 in student loans. I don't know. What's the average student loan? Somebody want to throw that out? I have no idea. I didn't go to university, so I don't know what a student loan is. And Mason doesn't have any student loans. So I'm not sure. What is somebody's average student loan? What are the numbers that you hear? 30,000, 40,000, 80,000? I have no idea. So that being said, something has to shift. There has to be a shift. It would be nice for a shift. There has to be a shift. And the shift that you're going to need, the shift that's going to be required is not out there. You already have the skills. You already have the talents. 100K. I see 30K on the VIP board. I see 100K here in Instagram. So the challenge is that it's not out there. The thing that needs to shift is not out there. It's in here. It's literally in here. It's in the hardware. It's in the hardware. It's not in the software. Listen carefully. This is going to freak you out a little bit. $80,000. It's not the hardware. It's not the software. It's the hardware. It's the physical hardware of the brain. It's called neuroplasticity. See, that's the physical hardware of the brain. When we try to rewire, my mouth got a little tangled up. When we attempt to rewire the way the brain produces its thought process, the way the brain reproduces its hedonic capabilities. Hedonics is the idea of you maintaining your own enjoyment, your own self-worth. And so the hedonism, right, where you go to hedonism, the island or the place or the resort where it's just nothing but pleasure, 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 pleasure. The challenge is that we have our own hedonics, the ability of we're responsible for our own pleasure. So how do we get pleasure? We get a hit of dopamine. How do we get a hit of dopamine? We laugh at a reel. 6 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. We laugh at a reel. We send it to a friend and we go on to another one. I'm guilty of this. I know why, because I don't speak from theory. I speak from practicality. So how do we shift that? How do we change that? We have to do what Cal Newport talks about in his book, Deep Work. We've got to get into some deep work. We've got to find that North Star, what Napoleon Hill talks about in chapter 1, desire of Think and Grow Rich. We have to find that thing that we are truly wired into. The biggest chapter in Science of Getting Rich, not chapter 7 on gratitude. In the Science of Getting Rich, it's gratitude. Understanding that gratitude can shift our change. If we've ever watched our child sleep at night, if we've ever given a gift to somebody and we've done it anonymously and our heart just explodes, we have to explode our heart so that we can absolutely destroy doubt. We can destroy fear. When you're in that great state, think about the time when you gave somebody the gift that they wanted, when you maybe brought somebody a drink that they were thinking that they would want, like, oh my God, that was so nice, thank you. And you're like, you're welcome. My point is that we have these moments to where we can be in gratitude by giving, but we also have to receive the gratitude that comes back as we begin to deliver on our dreams, deliver on our promises. Drop a thank you, a TY, drop TY in the chat. If your dreams, when you arrive at them, somebody's going to say thank you to you. If somebody's going to say thank you to you for when you arrive at the big dream, the goal that you want, the thing you have on your dream board, when you arrive there, is somebody going to say thank you to you? If somebody's going to say thank you to you, if somebody's going to say thank you to you when this happens, you have to ask yourself, why am I avoiding that gratitude? Why am I avoiding that thanks? It's because of the way your brain is wired. It's the hardware that's operating. It's not the software, because you've written over the software. You've tried to write over the software. You've tried to reprogram yourself through the software. You've read books. How many of you have read books on gratitude? How many of you have read books on goal setting? How many of you have attended workshops on goal setting? The reason that won't upgrade the hardware is because the software is not strong enough. The software isn't a root correction. The software isn't something that's getting down to the fundamentals of the hardware, that's giving it a chance to wipe it out and reset it. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy. Therapy means we have to move our body. See, there's a very little of the trainings that you do that incorporates physiology. Tony Robbins is the perfect example of how he incorporates the physiology, incorporates the body, incorporates the movement of the body to get some highly emotional, energetic feeling so that it can kind of stick. Right? We do things to take the old story in one hand and the new story in the new hand, and we give this one life, and this is usually in black and white, and we move it far away, and this one is in color, and we keep it close, and then we bring them to about the same level, and we smash them together, literally, physically, we move them together, and because this one, the new story, is so strong, we wind up overpowering the old story, and it literally rewrites, it literally resets. How many of you are old enough to remember when you got the 15 discs of your MS-DOS upgrade? Now it upgrades in the background. Now it upgrades, if you got a Mac, it upgrades in the background. But you used to have to do disc 1 of 15, disc 2 of 15, disc 3 of 15. Joe Dispenza talks about it in how to undo. What is the name of the book I'm thinking of? It's the second book that he has out. He's got another book out recently. But it's about how he rewired his brain, how he rewired to go fix his spinal column from his bicycle accident. And understanding that, well, as he starts to rewire that, he had to, if you didn't put in disc 2, If you tried to put in disc 3, it would tell you got to put in disc 2. The challenge is most of us, we've heard about the hero's journey and coming back with the elixir. And we want to be so powerful in our world that we want to come back with the elixir, the hope. We're in network marketing. I've got the elixir. You need to make $5,000 a month. I've got the elixir. Sorry to say you don't. It's not that your comp plan won't work. You don't have the elixir to unwire what's been wired into them. You think that telling them that they can do it, that they need to talk to more people, that go for no is a good answer. Go for no is a good solution. Go for no is going to get them excited. Sorry, that was just it's a marketing thing. I mean, think about it. Everybody's read the book, but they're still not willing to go for no. I'm not sure why. So my point is this. So how do we upgrade the hardware? It begins with self-talk. It begins with the things we say to ourselves. It begins with the 60, 70,000 thoughts we're having a day that we're not consciously aware of, the 40 to 50,000 thoughts that are happening. And out of those, 30,000, 40,000 are not in our favor. They're negative thoughts from yesterday. Do you ever say anything like, I always do that? Why does that always happen? So if I were to do a 2-day challenge on self-talk, would you want to come to it? If I could give you the fundamentals, the basics, the building blocks of self-talk, it's 2 days, even if I did 8 hours a day, and it's not going to be an 8-hour-a-day session. It takes about 6 weeks to go through. It takes about 6 weeks to go through a rewiring of the self-talk. So when you get this idea, this conversation, when you realize that how powerful self-talk is and how simple it is to integrate it. The challenge is that we're not even aware of the self-talk we have. When you start to become aware of the self-talk, one of the biggest challenges is the fear of becoming aware, then the sadness of what we've said to ourselves. And then we have the transition when we go from the fear to the sadness. Oh my God, I could have done this years ago. Type the word year into the chats if there's things that you say, I could have done this years ago. I should have started this years ago. I could have started this years ago. Type years into the chat. And so if you know that you could have done this years ago, if you wish you had this information years ago, then the question is don't wait another day. Don't wait another day. I would encourage you to start now. So if you'd like to be a part of that, if you'd like to go to SeanGMurphy.com, get on the email list, go sign up for the 52 lessons and get on the email list, because probably either this week or maybe next week, I'm going to actually do a self-talk challenge. It'll be 3 hours. It'll be 90 minutes each day, but I'll give you some basic fundamentals. I'll give you some nuts and bolts. I'll give you some strategies on how to fix that, how to begin with it. Then I've got a self-talk program if you want to have it. It's an online program that you can use, you can have access to. So we'll figure that out as well. So how do you shift that today? Manage your energy, maintain your energy today. Find something that excites you, find something that keeps you excited, bring a memory into your mind, right? Bring joy into your life, into this moment. Laugh. I promise you, laugh more, you'll have a better day. Laugh more and you'll have a better day. Put a smile on your face. A buddy of mine, Scott Schilling, says when he's speaking, he gets up on stage, he says, quick question, everybody. He says, how many of you know how to smile? Everybody raises their hand. He said, many of you need to tell your face then. Remind your face you know how to smile. And have an incredible day. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling misfit, helping you rewire so you can have more of what you want, less of what you don't. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Till then, bye for now. Love you tons, YouTube. Appreciate you. Have an incredible, fun-filled day. I'll see you where? I'll see you at the next event. Till then, bye for now. All righty, VIPers, what you doing? Oh my goodness. Just as soon as I was getting ready to start the call, a full, this is probably a 32-ounce Yeti of coffee. All over. Good news is that no books were harmed in the catastrophe. Just little marks of growth and opportunity. Questions, thoughts, comments, takeaways. What'd you learn? What'd you like?
Morning, Sean.
Good morning, Diane.
How are you today?
Outstanding.
That's wonderful.
Coffee cleaning.
Even though you spilt your coffee.
Yeah, I knew as soon as I